So for context, we're giggling a little. We needed some levity after this episode, and we watched the parody Lost, quote unquote, it's not real, 4Kids intro that some guy made up for Evangelion. If I remember, I will put it in the show notes of this episode. It's fantastic.
Probably one of the best parodies of an anime intro I've seen in a while.
Oh. You're small adult, you're a child, get in the robot.
Don't eat a rice ball, eat a donut. In New Orleans. Oh. Okay.
Oh God, Mike.
I mean, we'll need that video again after this. But yeah,
oh, we will.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So this is episode 23. Tears. Following the last angel's assault on her mind, Asuka sinks into clinical depression.
Yeah.
The next angel, Armisael, attacks and attempts to merge itself with Unit 0, causing it to make contact with Rei's mind, as past angels did with Shinji and Asuka. In order to save Shinji, Rei self-destructs Unit 0 in order to destroy Armisael. Rei is revealed to be recovered after a supposed near-death experience. Zile, wanting to get to the bottom of this incident, subjects Risako to a humiliating interrogation with Gendo's consent. Wanting revenge on Gendo, Ritsuko betrays him by revealing several dark truths to Shinji and Misato about the Evangelions and Rei, particularly that the latter is but one of several backup clones. In her anger at Gendo, Ritsuko coldly murders all the Rei clones.
Nipples.
Yeah.
So yeah, this episode is Sunshine and Rainbows.
So I love how in the episode previous to this, we tried to penetrate the child's mind with rainbows, moonbeams, and hallelujah. This time, right to tentacle porn, baby.
It's anime. I know where it's going.
And also, like, oh no, it's getting her. What about its ray field? It appears it doesn't care, sir.
Well, and then the flashing penetrating. It's like, oh, subtlety out the window.
But to start at the beginning, I love how the show starts with the out of orderness of the episodes. You get the gunshot, Kenji's gone, something happened. Then you get a random scene with Asuka where she's borderline trying to dry hump him. And then it goes back to oh wait, something happened to Kaji a couple episodes ago. And then her sign on her room says authorized, come in and you die.
Yep.
Or it says like, just let me be. In the English version, and then it's like, just for this once. Oh
man,
this angel was a lot too. I mean, granted, for as little as we actually see it.
I think we see it, like, it has screen time for about
like 5 minutes,
if even that.
Yep.
And then something that was super well. First off, more symbolism. The angel. Well, the tower thing it was making.
Yeah.
One, if you slow it down, you can see it's made from previous angels.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Two, Unit 0 gets pregnant like some stupid fan art. Oh, sorry, but it's like, oh, god dang it. This is something you would see on the internet. They predicted it. And then, but then it's like, oh, right. Rei's a clone. It's like, yeah, I am the third one. Oh, right. Okay.
I like how the second one just never had a chance to say it was a clone. Otherwise, it just wouldn't have cared to say it. This one just had the opportunity. I love the assertion that if like you didn't know that like the accident happened and you're Shinji and you're like supposed to know that she's injured, so they're faking it. The assumption to those doctors or whoever would know she was a clone is like, oh, she just comes out custom fucked up.
And she comes out like the same bandaged and damaged look.
Yep.
Like when you first see her, and it's just like, do they just have like a shelf full of casts for the right arm or whatever, and for the head?
Yeah.
What is it like? Is it the left or the right eye that's like always patched when she walks
I
out?
believe it's her right eye.
I think it's the right. I'm trying to think in context from perspective. I think it's right. At first, I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of glazed over and depressed because of the last episode, and then it's like, oh wait, why is she nude in front of all those obelisks? Not Ray, the
Ritsuko?
Dr.
yeah.
Kagi.
Dr.
yeah,
Kage?
Richiko Akagi, yeah. And it's just like, did we like slip in like a bootleg hentai or something? What's going on here?
The best part about that is like, yes, our interrogation is going as planned. You didn't ask her any questions.
Oh, we didn't see any.
You are a bunch of 70-year-old and up men staring at a 30-year-old going, yes.
Creepy as hell stuff,
Your units
man.
are important. I just like, I don't.
Hey, phrasing.
Phrasing, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I just
But, it's.
quoting Archer. But
Also,
God
well,
dang
yeah,
it.
and also, we need to go over some details
Go ahead.
that get said in this. They finally dropped the bomb. They said the Dead Sea Scrolls a bunch of times in the show, and this is the first time where they finally mentioned what they are, and that Seeley had them, and that they're a very different thing, and that they finally dropped the cement brick of a shoe that, oh, by the way, all these angels were just recorded in the Dead Sea Scrolls. We just knew they were going to come.
And did nothing about it.
And we're just like, oops. And then the best part is, every time they know about every one of these, and yet every time when an angel comes, the entire country's like all collectively is like, ah, my breadsticks. What are we doing?
And they keep using the same useless weapons. Why couldn't you, instead of wasting so much ammunition on rockets and cannons that won't do jack, keep cloning the Longinus spear or something? I think that seems to do pretty well.
The N2's failed. What do you do now? Get more N2s.
Yeah, and yes.
Oh, this just makes me want to talk about Dygard and just how
Yeah.
they handled this better. So
Yeah. Well, we're not done with that yet, because
I know.
also while they're down there, they let you know that that tank is not a tank of Rays. It's a tank of 8. Oh, that they had a graveyard double-ended cross. Keep in mind,
of Avas.
because subtlety, dead Avas in it. And it then led them to the second part. Well, the first part, sorry. They have a model room of Ray's apartment, which never makes sense. You
Nope.
needed to let her know that her apartment is fucked up before you make her go to her apartment that's going to be fucked up. You raise her as a full-grown 13-year-old. She isn't a baby that has to stay there for 13 years. She just knows. But anyway, you get into that room, and she doesn't say that these are a tank full of Rays. These are a tank full of Avas that are technically humans.
Yep.
Avas are humans,
Yep.
just without souls, and Ray's the only one born with one.
Yep.
That's
not
show,
creepy
guys.
at all.
No,
This fucking show.
no. And the best part is, and it bugs the fuck out of me every time I watch it. This is a thing that's never going to live past 13, or at least I hope the intention was for it to never live past 13. Otherwise, Gendo, you're 1,000 times worse than what I thought you are. Because if it's not going to live to be past 13 and you're not just grooming your future wife again, it does not need nipples or reproductive organs. It always bugs the shit out of me, and I can't not think about that.
So,
like I said in our group chat, I'm pretty sure Ano has a poster hanged up on his wall that just says "fuck them kids."
Yes.
can I just say, the one moment of levity I had from this episode was like seeing Asuka with her friend from school,
Sega.
Seka, and playing Puyo Puyo Pop, which didn't sound like Puyo Pop, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like when they're in the bed together, seeing what's her name? Hikari just like just laying there, just like stiff as a board.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, it's me and my friend from school and her 13 years of trauma in that story. It's like that meme of like, yep, me and my girlfriend and her $500
$500.
Plush.
The best part is you would just be hugging a giant, like, italic word of trauma on the corner of the bed. But there's also another religious reference that I did not know about until I watched the show. I have never heard of it myself personally, but I probably should have. The Chamber of Guff. What Guff translated to goof or gope is a Hebrew word meaning body. In Jewish mysticism, the Chamber of Guff, called Atzar, Hebrew for treasury, is a treasury of souls located in the seventh heaven. In religious mythological cosmology, the seven heavens are referred to as the seven levels of dimension of the heavens. The concept is also found in ancient Mesopotamian religions, can be found in Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Similar concept can be found in others' religion as Hinduism. Some of these traditions, including Jainism, include the concept of the seven earths or seven underworlds, both metaphysical realms or deities, and observed by celestial bodies such as classic planets or fixed stars. It just throws that term in there just to be like, what other religious thing can we use for this tank of bodies that we just needed to have for a fucked up scene?
I just looked up the the word for guff in Hebrew. It just literally means body.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
God, this show. Like these past couple episodes have just been
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I just want to watch the 4 kids Evangelion opening again.
It's great. And I will try my best to put it in the show notes when this episode airs.
Please do.
Anyway, it's a lot, and then they destroy all those possible juicy Avas, and
there's that, and also all of Tokyo 3 is just fucking dead.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys a question. Who is the real villain of this show?
Ano.
Or
Well, in universe,
Gendo. Just I don't know. It's just gonna be something generic like humanity.
You're not far off.
I'm torn between Gendo or Zile, because as fucked up as Gendo is, he is still probably bottom 5 worst dad. I think Zile is even worse, and even Zile seems to not have a code at all.
They really don't. They just want to make sure things go according to the Dead Sea Scrolls, which Gendo was a copy of and is purposely trying to screw with, or at least knows of, I should say. Sorry.
No, yeah. I'm just so drained from these last few episodes, and then that shape-shifting angel taking the form of Rey and almost mounting Unit 1. And just the horniness of all that.
Yeah.
The horniness, the mommy issues.
It just doesn't stop. It just doesn't.
I know, I understand you're trying to work out things with this show, but don't use the show.
Yes. And
talk to someone.
I have a feeling. Go ahead.
No, it's just like, it's healthy for guys to talk to other guys about problems and such. Don't take it out on a show.
and like, keep in mind still, I do still like this show. I have a feeling we have to say this every now and then, because it's just, it's one of it's more of us not saying that we don't like it. It's just us showing Ano's mindset at the time and the period of time that this was made.
No, this just reminds you of like all the Evangelion ripoffs that came out, and it's like, oh, they took inspiration from the second half, not the first half. The second half, like Devadazi.
Yeah. that's like they took partial inspiration from the right parts in Darling. They took a lot of, like, Darling is just if you stapled random script pages of Gurren and Evangelion together and then sent it off to the press to make the show.
Yeah.
It's just like, wait, which page for what part? Yes.
But this part doesn't lead to the other part. Yes.
Yes. It will eventually. We'll make it so later. Don't worry about it.
No, it's like, I get what this show's doing. I understand it. It's very complex and ambitious for its time period. I will not dismiss how important it was. But man, it's not handled well. Well, it's not handled to how I don't know.
I'll say this as someone who like just got out of therapy earlier today.
Oh no.
This show was written at a time before mental health was, as normalized as it is today. So
Yes.
we're watching this, and for some people rewatching this with a pair of 2021 eyes.
Right.
Yeah. And again, that another warning. Trauma warning, and again in this episode, my God, you should have had an epilepsy warning at certain points. It's not as bad as the last one.
No.
It's not. But every time they do these mind in scenes,
Yeah.
ugh.
No, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. That's one way of putting it. A lot.
No, that's all I have. It's a lot to deal with. Just the origins of the angels, what Avas actually are. And then it's just like, now we're going to dump all these things that don't have souls but have humans and possible human-like elements to them. And everything is just going down the toilet.
Yeah.
Nerve is dying. The mass production angels are coming into play, even though we have 3 episodes left.
You might say this show is getting on its last nerve.
Yes. And we still haven't met the final person yet.
No. I
No
forgot
mention-
just how late that dude comes in.
So
Here's
is
the thing, I haven't
it
seen-
the next one, or are we just not going to see it?
I
tonight?
don't
No.
remember.
It's the next one. Thank goodness, because it's like I'm getting
okay.
tired. Because I know we're about to get even more stuff dumped onto us. And I love this show. I'm enjoying it watching this again, but man, this second half. Just oh no. Come on. This is
I
like
just hope the show concluded with everyone at Gainix going, buddy, you're going to take a vacation. And we're making you go through mandatory counseling before you make another show again.
well, it just makes me feel bad because it's like you wonder like back then, like, yeah, how stigmatized was mental health back then
Yeah,
and such. So it's like I'm not trying to armchair doctor this, but it's like it might like you feel bad for the show because it's getting the blunt end of whatever he's dealing with. And then for us, it's like, what is going on, Ano? What's going on, Gynax?
Yeah, we're getting there.
No, it just reminds me
getting-
of just like it reminds me of like the transition from Mamoru Oshii going from like Urusei Yatsura, like one of the most iconic comedy rom-com animes of all time, to Ghost in the Shell, and then Pat Labor and such, and it's like, what happened between there? Like, what were you going through to go from lightweight, cutesy demon girl stuff to heavy human existentialism?
In the words of Lloyd Christmas, a lot.
No, this was an interesting episode, but I could tell it's like we're train wrecking our way to the finale.
Yeah, it's a lot. Mike,
Mhm.
you didn't get to say a whole lot of stuff.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. I honestly, after like the reveal, I'm a little bit speechless. This episode, well, the past 2 episodes really knocked the wind out of me. But to our closing question of where is the rocket ship now? It's flying straight into the sun.
Turn back.
It reminds me of, what is that, Rocket Man? Where you're like, excuse me, sir, that appears to be the surface of the sun. Yeah.
Now I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about the Futurama gag where they make fun of the real world by putting the real world, the sun, and everyone's burning alive.
Yeah.
And then it's like, prices there are too much.
Good Lord.
I'm done.
All right, Cameron, where can they find you?
I don't know anymore. Twitter.com/CamsEyeView or @CamsEyeView. You could. I run a website called CamsEyeView.biz where I review animated films and shows called The Other Side of Animation. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/CamsEyeView. I'm also the co-host of the Renegade Animation Podcast on RenegadePopCulture.com. There.
Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. Check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. Find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can catch me once in a while on the PJ Campbell Network on Suddenly Soundtracks. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. Look for them on Podchaser as well. You can listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
A lot of people do after watching that. You can find me sweating my balls off in my house today because Wisconsin finally discovered what heat was this year. Thank God. But yeah, you can find me at Organoid Zero everywhere at that. And we're gonna do our last I think our last episode for the day. I don't know. So we'll see. Catch you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.